how vascular I am.
How vascular you are?
My veins.
Ew, what is that?
My vein.
Ew! Ew, Marcus, you have like an air bubble in your arm. That is disgusting.
It's actually interesting. I haven't seen that. I wonder what. I think that's just like. Well, it's a tendon.
It's a tendon?
I think it is.
That is atrocious.
Awesome.
Marcus has this like weird ass like bump. And it's like not like a bump, trust me. Like it's
Interesting.
not
It's my
like a bump.
muscle. Like that's
It's
muscle
like
tissue.
that is so nasty.
Yeah, no, that's muscle tissue. That's interesting. I don't know. That's weird. That's muscle tissue. I don't know.
I'm repulsed. Ew, when I touched it. I can feel it on my finger. Ew.
You're so dramatic.
Oh my gosh. This is the intro.
Right?
I'm Arianna,
I'm Marcus.
and this is
Rated R for relatives.
This is episode 14.
14,
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, seems pretty nuts.
Yeah. Well, sorry that uploads have been bad. I am, again, for those who don't know, I edit everything.
Right.
And unfortunately, I have had little to no time to edit anything. Work has been exhausting. I'm tired.
Yeah, I think everyone's feeling the mode lately. I've been seeing that. It's so weird
Yeah.
how I think sometimes like the world will all be on the same vibe.
Apologize for my appearance. I know I look a little crazy. I'm breaking out. My lashes need to fill. I'm tired. I washed my hair. Today was wash day. If you couldn't tell, my hair is wet. I look like a wet dog.
They cannot tell.
But just honestly, a little disclaimer. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
It's also freezing in my apartment, so that's why I have
I've actually gotten used to it, surprisingly.
a blanket, because my boyfriend likes to have our apartment feel like, what did I say? Igloo? I mean igloo, but I said igloo.
Yeah, she said igloo, which I don't. Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know, but that's because my boyfriend obviously he radiates heat, whatever. But yeah, let's get into our first segment. Relate to this rant.
Yeah, and it's your
I
turn
need to wake
first.
up. So what I'm about to talk about is something so stupid. No, I mean not like dumb, stupid.
She said, let me preface
But
this.
I'm like, when you hear about this, you're gonna probably be like, oh my gosh, she needs help. Like, she needs therapy. So I'm not gonna cry this time. Okay, I've already cried. Whatever. I'd cry every episode, and it's so embarrassing.
It's like a Maya on this one.
No, really, it is. I need to stop crying all the time. So this yesterday, we made plans, with our grandparents to watch the movie, and Friday my friends came up and asked if me and my best friend wanted to go out to dinner. Our coworkers, our coworker friend group that I have. Honestly, just so far my friend group that I have.
Right.
And it's crazy because I don't want to get it too excited and say that, because I haven't had a solid friend group since I was literally in 8th grade. And having one as an adult is very different, because obviously we have to be more emotionally mature now and regulate our emotions a little bit better.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
guess
talking
so,
about me. Because I have a fear.
Right. Well, because because I'm kind of just realizing this too, is in group social situations, you don't exactly you've just never really learned properly what a lot of the etiquette kind of is.
Kind of, yeah. I have a very open personality.
Which there's nothing wrong with that, but
Right, but
when it comes to regulating that
regulating it, yes,
within
because
public, yeah.
I have a little voice in my brain that tells me that I'm being annoying. Pull back. You're talking too much. Pull back.
Right.
Everybody's annoyed around you. Pull back. You know what I mean? It's this tiny, tiny voice in the back of my head telling me these things, right? They invited me and my best friend to go out to dinner with them that same night that we had plans already with our grandparents to go watch the Michael Jackson movie, which we will definitely get into talking about later.
Yes, we will.
But I Listen, I already made plans, right, with my family. There's nothing wrong with that. That wasn't the issue. My issue was I started spiraling of like, oh my gosh, like I
Oh,
have
because like I didn't go, they're not gonna like me.
almost. So I have a chronic FOMO. Chronic. Like not in the way of like, oh, you went to that concert, oh, I wish I was there, like whatever. Yes, a little bit of that, but also of like there's gonna be inside jokes that I'm not gonna know. You know what I mean? Things are gonna happen and then I'm gonna be like, oh, like on the outside of it. Does that make sense?
No,
Like
yeah, and I get that personally, especially because the other keep this in mind. Granted, yes, I have had a decent like amount of friends. Like
mm,
I am like the more social person of the two of us.
mm,
But in the same vein, I was also a nerd for a while. I mean, I still kind of am. But
yeah,
in any case, like that comes with its own BS. I do get, like, what you're saying, and, like,
yeah,
because it still is hard
yeah,
to navigate your place
for sure.
within people
For sure.
because you feel like, "Oh, am I the odd one out? Am I the one that's being made fun of? Am I the one that's the
Mhm.
butt of the joke all the time or something?" It
Mhm.
does,
Yep.
and you do get self-conscious about it. I even still get self-conscious about that stupidly, even though, like, my best freaking friend is a person that I know will literally ride or die for me. We are, like, locked in, like, like,
Mhm.
we're bros. And I even still get like me and him both have told each other like we still get stupid sometimes, and like when he doesn't like answer a couple of my calls
Mhm.
for like an hour, and I'm like, does he hate me? Like,
No,
and we
right.
call it chick brain because it's dumb, and then we don't even mean to say it as a derogatory term, but just like freaking out that much,
Right. No,
like
and I understand that obviously.
like a girlfriend.
This is going to be so hard for me to articulate because I was talking about it with my mom and or with our mom. We have to say mom.
Mm,
I was talking about it with mom and mom understands it because of course she's seen me go through it and she also understands the trauma that I have with this. So, let's break it down. They invite us, I can't go, and it's not because I'm making an excuse of I want to go,
right,
but like I can't because I've already made plans with my family. And again, there's nothing wrong spending time with my family. I don't regret that at all. It was actually a really fun time. And again, we're going to talk about it later.
right.
But I also have this thing of like, because I said no this time, like they're not going to want to invite me
Yeah,
anymore.
see,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
right, right,
There's that. Okay. Another thing is, of course, them going out to like something as simple as dinner. Like I'm also like missing out on the conversations that they're having.
right.
Again, if something happens and there's an inside joke that I don't get, I'm on the outside of, and I'm just like, cool, like so funny. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, like it's something so stupid because
Right, because like in your head, you're like, why? Like this shouldn't make me like this is a dumb reason to feel this way.
right, and
Right,
but also I was getting anxiety over it. My thing is I was just spiraling because it was taking me back to when we were kids and we would see our certain family members on the side of our family and they would be like, oh yeah, we went to this place and like all this stuff, and they would talk about it with us and we're just like, how come we weren't invited? You know what I mean? Or how come we missed out on that? It comes to that point of like remembering the times of like I was robbed of a lot of experiences with my family. I was robbed with a lot of memories with my family for reasons that I still to this day don't understand. And I've told myself time and time again, I am done trying to understand it, but it comes back when things like this happen. And I'm just like, and again, it's not my friend's fault, like at all. Like, I just really want to make that very clear. It's not their fault. I wasn't, but here's the thing, I was not excluded. I was included. I was invited. Again, I simply just couldn't go.
right,
Right. The difference between that and what the trauma in my heart was bringing up and why I was getting anxiety was because the difference between I was actually included and invited and more than welcome to go versus times where we weren't included at all and it was made a point that we weren't. And it was almost a flex that we weren't there to experience that. Like whatever experience that they had, it was completely theirs, or whatever
right,
the relationships that they had with other family members that we don't have is because the fact that they are present all the time with them and we're not.
right.
And sometimes I always feel like it's painted as we chose not to be. And that is definitely not the case at all. We just were never told or asked like at all.
Right.
So it brought up a lot of like feelings of trauma because things that I thought I was completely over, it triggered it.
Well,
Does that
because
make sense?
I've learned this, and as like a person, or as your brother, I'll tell you this is there's a big difference between thinking that like or like stopping yourself from like paying mind to something or like whatever, or
Mhm.
just saying like, okay, I'm done with that, versus actually letting it go.
Yeah. And I think that's like something I really realized the other day. I have not let this go
Yeah.
like I thought I did, because otherwise, like, why is it still triggering me?
No. Yeah. Exactly.
And and that's where I really like have to be like careful, because again, it is not like the burden of my friends. I don't want them to ever feel that ever, especially my best friend. Like I don't want her to like think that like, oh, like I feel bad for going because you couldn't go. Does that make sense? I never want her to
See,
feel that
and I mean,
way.
I don't know if like girls do this, but like as far as like from a guy perspective, like if I am thinking about something, I do tell my friend, I'm like, dude, I just like I'm like this was dumb, right? And he'll tell me that it was dumb. He's like, yeah,
Yeah,
obviously
no,
that's
like
dumb.
no, she does tell me that it's not that serious. Like I didn't think of it that way and you shouldn't either. Like she really does help regulate
Well,
me for
right, but like
sure
my
and
thing,
ground me.
right, and like my thing is, I guess, just like as long as you're making a point to your friends, or at least in my opinion, that like I that you are not putting that on them, like
Mhm.
where like you're not saying that it is their fault or anything like that, and B, just that um you yeah, it's kind of like how you said earlier of like we're adults now, like these people aren't gonna do that, or at least good people aren't gonna do that.
That's and you're totally right. Like good people aren't going to do that.
Finding security within your own being and how you do move about with other people is something that doesn't come easy, but it's definitely something I know I need to work on personally still, and I
Mhm.
mean it's probably something you need to work on,
Yeah.
and that's fine because honestly, as because that cause what I I've always found good, especially about I don't know like I feel like I do this a lot, and you do it quite, or at least a good amount. I think we are pretty good at like self actualizing
Mhm.
or like self realization, and then even
Right.
sometimes self actualizing to a fault. We can convince ourselves of quite a bit of things. We just have managed to do that with the negative. We
Mhm.
have done that with the positive before, but not as
Mhm.
much.
Yeah. That's the type of adulthood that I'm in, of stepping into a space of like I need to stop getting in my head or letting my head tell me these things that other people may or may not be thinking, because the truth is I'm never going to know. And let's move on.
Okay. Okay.
You have the floor. I love that video.
Uh,
Do I have the floor? Do I?
Yes, you do. Have
You
you
just
seen multiple clips of that guy? Like, is that count? He's a council member. That's what
Oh my
that
gosh,
is.
it's that one clip where one of my favorites is where he's like, "But you're over there playing on your phone." No, I'm not playing on my phone. I'm taking care of business.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, that's the same
Yeah,
guy.
no, it is. He's done that multiple. I saw someone stitch all of them together, and in the comments, someone was like, "Who the hell keeps raising the volume on his microphone?"
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Like,
or maybe he's just going so close to the
he's
microphone.
just right.
That's a council member. Like, I want to shake his hand because honestly,
Like doing God's work.
like truthfully, because some people are just so dumb. Like they deserved that type of reaction. Sometimes I'm like, it's really hilarious too, because people are like, "No, I'm not playing on my phone, taking care of business." First of all, I am actually taking care of business. I am in my notes app planning out trips that are probably never going to happen. Like, no, seriously, I'm like cooking up an itinerary and all of my outfits for those days and those
Is this
activities.
what your daydreaming consists of?
Yes.
What
Yes, I have an entire New York trip in my notes with outfits planned. Yeah,
the-
a little fun fact about me. That's what's in my notes app. So, your
But
rant
yeah.
for the week, if you have one.
Well, I mean, I will say like I'm not a whole lot of my week has been like really much. I mean, work's been like work. I've been doing good, like which I don't really like to like. talk a lot even about when I'm doing super good, just because like I like to keep my momentum. Like, like
And
that's
that's totally valid.
like,
Yeah.
I'm doing well, and hopefully it keeps going that way. That's really it. But I mean, yeah, no, I will say, just as far as like things are going right now, it's kind of like I said earlier. Like, I'm just really just trying to get back to being an organized person again. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I saw this thing actually, right? And this like made me like really reflect a lot, because one of the big reasons why I started gardening in the first place
Mhm.
is because my mind was always on 10.
Mhm.
Always, always on 10. I am like racing 1,000 miles an hour. I have 15 different things running through my head at this moment. That includes what's going on in front of me,
Mhm.
what went on like 5 minutes ago, and what I think is going to go on in 20 minutes from now.
Mhm.
All the time. And
Yeah.
granted, yes, it was useful for school because I could think fast and it
Mhm.
was good.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to study. Like, I didn't study anything. I never studied at all. And I maybe did like the study packets, that they'd give. Like, I'd run through that once. That'd be it. That'd be it.
Right.
Like, I'd do the homework and that kind of thing. And even sometimes I didn't do some of those. And I would ace tests because I just learned.
Mhm.
Like, my brain running that fast was fine. And I even started doing that during school just so I could take certain things in slower and make sure I wasn't like overshooting myself,
Mhm.
because I don't know, I felt like social pressure and the fact of like being the I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but being one of the smartest people in the room
Yeah.
and raising your hand all the goddamn time kind of gets annoying to some people, it seems
Mhm.
like, or at least it's what it starts to feel like. So, I didn't want to be, super, like, whatever. So I wanted to slow down, and plus,
Mhm.
anxiety kept coming about whatever. So I started doing that. And it's funny because I saw this thing of like a lot of people with just like, ADHD and that kind of a thing, do start like, because of that reason.
Mhm.
I haven't like tapped back into what has made me like this person really again. Like, because I mean, I don't know, over these past like year and a half, maybe almost a couple of years even, as dumb as it almost sounds, I feel like I've been asleep.
Mhm. And I feel like
Like,
I haven't slept.
right? And like I don't want to be asleep anymore. Like,
Yeah.
because like I everything around me, I just want it to just pass by and brush over my shoulder and just keep going towards my goal.
Mhm.
But I realize now that A, the goals aren't exactly as linear as I thought they would be.
Yeah.
And B, that's just not I can't do that. That's one of those things where you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because just being in that state, in that kind of I it's so weird to describe it, because like it's like been this thing where I'm consciously it's like I'm consciously tired.
Mm.
Like everything is just I'm pushing it to the back because I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I know if I'm gonna have to deal with that, and I'm gonna give it my all, but I'm gonna be tired, and I think I'm so scared of burning myself out or something again, or
Mhm.
like, or feeling like that, feeling like keep putting my whole into something, and like reactivating that like inner, creativity, or
Mhm.
like, whatever, that inner spark, I guess, to say.
Mhm.
I feel like it's like, I guess I'm scared of what it's gonna mean for me,
Mhm.
in a way.
I think it's so wild, I think we're on two different wavelengths of that. Like you feel like you're hitting a plateau, right? Is what I'm trying to
Well, like,
understand.
I've been.
Been hitting it, like right. For me, I feel like I'm like constantly on I'm in a phase where I'm on 10 like all the time. Like I can't fully sleep very well. I can't remember the last time I actually slept good. Like truthfully. And that is because I'm getting older. So I have all these things in my head of like, I should have been already done this. I should have been like, I feel like I'm behind. So that's why it's like, I personally am at a stage in my mind where I'm on 10 because I want to have all these things. And for me, it's like the productiveness of certain things, like I have been like my priorities a little bit or have been really all over the place. Like
Right.
I'm
See?
stuck between of wanting to take care of myself and rest and, slow down, but then it's like I'm going to have the rest of my life to rest if I'm productive now and get all the things that I need to be doing cuz I want to go back to school. You know what I'm going back to school for. I'm not going to particularly say it because I don't know if I want to do this.
Oh yeah.
But I'm scared. I'm so scared to go back to school because I remember when I was in school and working at the same time, I was exhausted. Like, I remember feeling so tired and so drained all of the time because that work life balance is bullshit. That does not exist anymore. Like, it really doesn't. Because why do my weekends feel like 30-minute lunch breaks? Does that make sense? Like you're talking like I'm at work 40 hours a week and I have when I by the time I come home, I have 2 hours to shower before I, you know, go to sleep cuz I work at a hospital, so like I just hygienically that's important to me. And let's say I were to start going to the gym. I have 2 hours to go to the gym, shower, and eat dinner.
Right.
And imagine if I cooked. Like that you can't fit that in 2 hours. And then not only that, downtime to rest. Cuz that is important. I don't care what anybody says. Downtime, like quiet time to yourself, whether it's reading, whether it's drawing,
No,
coloring,
yeah,
whatever
of
the fuck
course,
you
yes,
want.
it's important.
It's
Yeah.
so important. So that's what I'm saying is like like and also having the weekends, there's something always going on. Like with our family, like we have plans. And again, it's that life part of the work life balance. So my what I'm intimidated. I shouldn't say I'm scared. I'm just intimidated getting back to that. And someone told me from work like we all have the same 24 hours. It just depends on how you prioritize them.
Which is true. I mean,
Yeah.
because there is a lot that I've like come into realization of like what did work for me or what has worked for me in the past of just of being more of an organized person.
Mhm.
And it's funny because like as much as like like school fucking sucks, like it helps with like structure in a way.
Mhm.
Because like well you have deadlines all the time, you
Mhm.
know what I mean, and once you have those done you're like okay, this is done, it's finished, I don't have to worry about this for a second and
Here
I can go
comes
have fun.
another thing.
Well, kind of, but
Yeah.
like but then you can but well, if you do it right then it's like well I can go have fun now.
Mhm.
And I mean that was like that's kind of what I did. And sometimes yeah I would cram stuff to the last minute. Lord knows I was like king of procrastination when it
Mhm.
came to schoolwork. But in the same breath it's like because I find whenever I am in a rush, that is when I feel the most alive. Balancing to me isn't about making sure everything is perfectly spent or like all time is spent perfectly well. It's just that making sure that the time you do spend on each thing, you're doing it 100%. No
Right.
matter if it's for 5 minutes, no matter if it's for like whatever, you are doing it, or at least you're doing it to the best of your ability. Because I did hear this one time from my counselor when I was in like high school, and this changed my perspective on a lot of things. You can never be 100% in all the areas of your life that mathematically doesn't make sense,
Mhm.
but you just have to balance it out. And some things are going to be more sometimes, and
Mhm.
some things are going to be less, and they're just going to switch off. And that's how life is.
Yeah.
But as long because we've come to this idea that for some reason, even though we have such complicated lives as humans, that balance is just this flat thing that we have to even out across our entire life. No, we have very complex lives. Balance for us means doing the thing that is taking high priority and making sure that gets the right attention, and the things that might be a little bit lower percentage are still getting the attention regardless. Does that
Mhm.
make sense? And even though it's not on the list, not at the top of the list right now, they're circling and they're moving.
Yeah.
All the pieces are moving all the time.
Yeah.
And yes, that it can be exhausting, but I think that does go into just kind of like how we said earlier, regulation.
Yeah.
making sure you're not overwhelming yourself at
Mhm.
moments at a time,
Mhm.
making sure you know what is too much for you to handle. I think especially as adults, we need to realize that a lot of that is in our control,
Yeah.
that we are taking in what we are asking for.
Mhm.
Well, we're what we're saying yes to, what we're agreeing to, the jobs that we get, whatever, most of it is within our control and within our ability to say, okay, this is this, but it's not going to dictate this,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. I
And I
agree.
think that's just something I need to get back to. And it's hard, especially with my work hours, because I work literally smack dab in the middle of the day.
Yeah, you do.
So it's just rough because then it's I have to choose between, do I want my morning practically just spent like doing super productive stuff, even though it's like first when I wake up and I
Mhm.
kind of do want to decompress before I do start my day,
Mhm.
or do I do that kind of productive stuff in the night, go into the late hours, and I don't know, possibly be tired, like whatever. Like you see what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
I've been going through these flip flop decisions.
Mhm.
I just need to find out what still is working, the system that does work when
Mhm.
I do that, whether that be taking 6 hours to sleep and, taking like 3 hours of editing after work and maybe doing two before work and, going to the gym, maybe even the days that I don't work because I don't do that,
Yeah.
those need to be maybe more rest days than anything else. Just kind of balancing that out with the things that I want to do because I did see this too, and this has also been kind of changing my perspective lately. Goals are just dreams without action. Yeah, I guess we'll next segment of
For cinema.
for cinema.
Yeah. Getting into For Cinema. For those who are new here, For Cinema is the segment where I have assigned Marcus a really girly, lighthearted chick flick for the week, and
Right.
Marcus assigns me a very bro-coded movie. This week is a very perfect example of what was assigned. This week, you've assigned me
Wolf
The
of
Wolf of
Wall
Wall Street.
Street.
Yeah. Getting into The Wolf of Wall Street, I am just gonna say I love Martin Scorsese. I respect Martin Scorsese so much so. Um, However, he is the king of bro coded movies. Like no, genuinely. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. I just mean like the movies that he's directed, like Taxi Driver,
Well, yes,
like
they're
Wolf of Wall
very
Street, Casino, like very much male centered movies,
yeah.
and his target audience is men.
If you haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street, first of all, where the hell have you been? And second of all, it is actually true. So it's a true story. It's based off of a man named Jordan Belfort, which he was a Wall Street broker back in the 90s,
Nineties,
back in the
very
early
early
in the
nineties.
in the early 90s, in New York, and it just follows his story of him coming up in the world during out his time in Wall Street. He committed a lot of illegal activities throughout within his company and in his company of people. So with that,
Because weren't they like tax fraud? It was a lot of white collar
it
crimes, though,
oh yeah,
wasn't it?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, it well yeah, it was yeah, a lot of tax fraud, tax evasion, and yeah, like that kind of
just white
money.
collar
I think
money
money
laundering. Yeah.
laundering was part of it, but I could be wrong a little bit about that one. And then some with the way that they were doing the stocks on Wall Street, I think it was something about it was illegal. I forget exactly what, but in any case, follows the story of that and essentially what happens to him and throughout his entire life.
And greatly cast. You have Jonah Hill in this movie. You have Leonardo DiCaprio being Jordan Belfort, and Margot Robbie being his love interest for
One of
the.
her first major
I
roles.
was gonna say it is one of her first major roles, and I believe the role that really made her the face of being one of the most beautiful women in the world since Megan Fox,
Right.
essentially. And I truly think like this movie again on the surface, if I really just separate the demographic of men that love this movie,
Yeah,
um,
which you should.
I definitely do respect the filming of it all. Like honestly, the cinematography of it is great. We haven't talked about cinematography in a while, but
Surprisingly.
the one for this movie is actually I really love the way that certain scenes were shot, the just the way it looks, the way it looks to me too. Like I love old money aesthetic. I
Right.
love yacht days
Right.
and like like there's something about it that is just I love seeing it
Right.
and it's portrayed really well on screen. And Honestly, though, I would rate this movie 3 stars.
Seriously? What?
I'm sorry. Like, there's something about it compared to the other movies that you've given me that it is a little bit lower.
Okay.
Because again, like when you think of these movies, like these types of movies that are just centered around men who try to get rich quick and then they do and then they mess it all up by being literally just stupid and irresponsible with their money too. It becomes a redundant plot for me. I If you put all of DiCaprio's movies in front of me, I'm going to watch What's Eating Gilbert Grape over The Wolf of Wall Street. I'm going to watch Titanic over Wolf of Wall Street. I'm going to watch The Basketball Diaries over Wolf of Wall Street. I'm going to watch The Revenant over
Don't get me
Wolf of
wrong, I'm
Wall
probably gonna
Street.
watch Shutter Island, but
I
like,
was
you know
gonna
what I
say,
mean?
like,
Like,
Shutter Island's another great one. Again, I respect Martin Scorsese so much. This movie, I don't know. There's something about it, and I think it's because I have a hard time separating the demographic of men that this movie attracts. Because your average frat boy loves this movie. This is his favorite movie.
yeah, but
This
your average frat boy, this is also the only movie he watches usually. Like, you know what I
Well,
mean? Like
that's what I mean.
this
You know
and
what I mean?
Neighbors. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, like
It's just like it attracts also the demographic of men that truthfully just think they can get away with anything, and
well, you know what? Actually,
it's
you know what? I'm glad you're bringing up all these points because I have the same of the other end of the coin with the movie you gave me.
but like
I hope how ironic you're hearing this.
no, yeah,
Yeah,
but
like
I'm just saying there's something about this movie that I'm just like it doesn't do it for me, like truthfully, and I'm only rating it 3 stars because again the cinematography is amazing. The Honestly, the acting of it all to just how Margot Robbie and Leonardo DiCaprio, their chemistry on screen, and not only that, just Jonah Hill too being a part of this and being a major part of it too. Again, it's literally come boils down to I'd rather watch any other Leonardo DiCaprio movie than this one.
right.
Catch Me If You Can is a great one that I would watch over this one. Like it's just that's just what it was for me.
Well, because here's the thing about this movie, and what is supposed to be important about this movie is that it is about a man who went for everything he wanted, got it, and then fucked up. That's the whole point, though, is that we're supposed to see this and be like, yeah, no, this was nuts. Like, you're
Mhm.
not supposed to do this kind of a thing. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, he left his first wife, he cheated on her. Like, this isn't a movie that's supposed to be an example.
Mhm.
This is something that's supposed to be like, holy shit, like this
Right, but you're
person.
the different type of person though. You watch this movie and are like, "Yeah, this was stupid," or like,
Parts of it, because here's the thing as well, is that's what practically every man wants. Have all the money they could want in the world and be able to do whatever the hell you want with it,
mhm,
because no one can tell you otherwise. Not the FBI, not, not your wife,
the IRS.
not the IRS, not every other people in the company, not your father.
Mhm,
That's the double edged sword of this movie. Is it shows you what you could have as like a man of like what we're all trying to obtain in this
mhm,
life,
mhm,
and then it shows how so wrong that can go if you
mhm.
do it the wrong way.
Right. Because in the end, I did admire the ending of like it did a full circle moment where he goes into I think it's like a financial stockbroking like teaching class in general, and he presents and at the end of the movie he's like, "Sell me this pen." And I like the fact that it went into I'm gonna teach them what not to do.
Which, and essentially that is what Jordan Belfort does to this day.
I was gonna say yes,
And like
he
he is
does actively.
which, if you don't know, Jordan Belfort is still very alive and well out of prison, and he actively is on social media,
Hmm.
preach like, talking about financial advice and just being in business and a salesman in general.
Yeah.
Hell, funny enough about that pen thing too. My One of my coworkers, again one of the newer guys, was like, I don't get the whole sell me this pen thing. I don't understand it. Like,
I
how
understand it.
dumb is it? Like, sell, like, that's so dumb.
That's the point.
Wait, right. And it's funny because I'm like, oh really? And my because my boss is hearing this too, and he goes, really? And he looks at me and he goes, sell me this pen. And I go, okay. Hey, you mind writing your name down for me? I don't have a pen. Here you go. And that was it. And boss was like, boom, right there. And like, and he still like wasn't really understanding. And it was, and it's,
Mhm.
and my point to saying this is this, like, it's not just a movie. It's not just a movie, but because it was Jordan Belfort himself that made this popular. But this movie put his name on like the map of everybody. Like everyone knows who Jordan Belfort is because of this movie.
Mhm.
And that whole pen thing has become a staple in the sales world of like, if you
Right.
can't sell me this pen, you're not a good salesman.
Right.
Because if you don't understand sales, if you don't, because if you can't sell me this pen, then you don't understand sales.
For sure. It's something as simple as selling a pen
Exactly.
because it's the point of like you want to be such a good salesman that I can sell you the shirt off your back and then give it right back to you.
Exactly.
That is what it is, and that's what I respect about this movie for sure. Is that is the underlying tone, the overall. Take out all of like the bad decisions and
Right.
the drugs and the the fraud of it all and how he mistreats women and
Right.
all these things. Take them all out. But the basis of this movie truly is, and something that I can respect is showing how the world goes round when it comes to marketing, when it comes to money, when it comes to anything and everything green.
Exactly.
And that is what I why it's at 3 stars too. Cuz I'm not saying like I didn't understand this movie. I understood it. I just again, just we view it that way. The bigger demographic of men is like I want to be that. I want to do that. But like they are the demographic of men that will get to that higher caliber of like having all this money and making all this money and doing all this stuff and do stupid shit with it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That is just me
Right.
and how I perceive it. But that's what also I can respect about Jordan Belfort in general. He didn't give up again, at the end of the movie. He still to this day is not giving up on giving financial advice and working in the stock market and all of these things. It is more of like teaching people what not to do
Right.
because I did it and fighting that voice in your head.
Right.
Because when you, let's say you wake up tomorrow, go to your bank account, and you have $50,000 in it all of a sudden, what is the one thing we're going to want to do? Spend it.
Right.
We're not going to want to invest it somewhere. That's not the first thing that's going to come to people's mind. It's not going to, all these things, right? But that's the problem. Like actively knowing that that's not what we should do and being more smart about the money that we have and that we earn because money is the one thing we everyone has in common is it's as easy as it is for you to earn it, it's so much easy for you to lose it.
Yeah. I feel like it's a good testimony in this movie.
For
Yeah.
sure. I agree, but again, just taking out all the other stuff.
Well, moving on to my
I was
review
gonna say, let's
then.
go to your review. Moving on to your turn. Clueless was the movie I assigned you this week.
Right.
Clueless, for those who don't know, you have Alicia Silverstone being the main character of this movie, and Stacey Dash being her best friend. You have
Hmm.
Paul Rudd being her, not initially her love interest, but ends up being her love interest. Um,
Fucking movie,
it can be a little weird. But this movie essentially is about this young woman. She's an older teenager living in Beverly Hills, and she is basically just this ditzy blonde girl that is just living her life with her friends and honestly trying to get validation from her dad, but also get validation from her friends. And that's literally the premise of this movie.
bro.
I'm trying to think of like the deep things about there's nothing deep about it. It really it's a fun movie. Like it really is a fun movie. And
I
everybody knows
mean,
Clueless. I mean, I think it's one of those movies that like everybody knows because it's a fun movie to watch and it was for its time
well,
because
yeah, and
everything is so serious and this movie it was just
don't get me wrong, like I enjoyed it a bit. It wasn't like a terrible like watch of mine. I will say though, it does hit probably lower on the list.
mhm.
Um, for funny enough, kind of similar reasons to yours, because like here's the thing. we follow this woman putting up this example of like, oh yeah, I can just like be out here and be pretty
Yeah.
and like I'm gonna be this manipulative like person and like try and get this little new girl's gonna be my project.
Which is
And
played
then
by Brittany Murphy.
right,
Love her so much.
like
It's actually one of her first roles. One of
oh
her
I did
first
not
major
no
roles.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
But like yeah, I'm gonna make this like girl my project and oh it backfires and she's more popular than I am and like
Mhm.
existential crisis for like this because of my popularity. Like
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's funny. She is very like the scene where she gets like robbed is
Oh my
hilarious.
god, no, that's so
It's
awful.
so funny. What are you talking about?
Or like,
Because she's like in this coat,
it's an
like
Alaya. An
in a
Alaya
what?
what?
It's in a what? Like, that scene is so funny. You are right. It is a fun movie that is like just nice if you don't like want to think about anything when you're watching it. If you want to turn your brain into a freaking carrot while you then you can sit and watch this movie and enjoy it all the way through. But if you can't do that, you are going to find yourself sitting there like what the hell is even going on right now? Like
Yeah,
the
I
scene
think.
at the party where
Mhm.
like I don't know that the dude that she was trying to get the new girl with was like rocking with his friends on the table, and like they like I don't know, she starts like dancing or like whatever going towards him, and then she like freaking falls and hits her. Which, by the way, actually no, not even falls. A shoe hits her head and she gets knocked out.
Mhm.
When has that ever knocked out a single person?
Or one of my favorite parts in that scene is where like she wakes up. Alicia Silverstone's character Cher is like, ask her like questions and stuff, and he, what does he say? He asks her like a math
Oh yeah,
question.
he said what's 7 times 7? Stuff
Something
she
she,
knows.
yeah,
Like it is a funny thing because don't get me wrong, especially I do say this like as a bit of a hypocrite too because this is the kind of girl I would be attracted to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because here's the thing, I don't like, you know what I mean? I do like someone that's like very like just kind of
la la
in their
la,
own world and
yeah.
like a little bit, you know, like very just kind of cute and like whatever.
Mhm.
It, which she is beautiful in this entire movie.
Mhm.
But like at the same time, like watching this, I'm like, because here's the thing. Here's my main reason for this thought. Throughout the movie, she's going through like points and reasons of like, oh, how to get a boy to like you. Why? And,
Right.
like
Well, again, very fun,
in which
ditzy
very
movie.
fun ditzy 90s right
Yeah.
90s movie. Like I get it. It's like you know,
Honestly,
like
I generally do like this movie more so because I we have seen all, if not quite a few filming locations. Like the liquor
right,
store where she does get robbed at
right,
gunpoint, and we've drove past that in Burbank
right.
so many
Several
times.
times.
Like
Every
that
time I went
was,
to Walmart,
yeah,
basically. Yeah.
like it was it's so much fun. Like
Right.
just knowing, oh my god, like I know where that's at. Like, oh my
Right.
god, I've been to that place. Like it I love this movie because of that reason. It makes me miss LA. It gives me a
Right.
little bit of like
Right.
nostalgia.
And then we can get to the big revolution of the end of the movie. Oh my god, I've been in love with my brother. Like
Hold on, wait.
hold on. Yes. Which he is her step brother from a marriage that isn't even around anymore. Granted,
Uh-huh.
yes, it was from a marriage that her father was in a
Mhm.
few years prior to what we're seeing in the movie. But and he still like comes around.
Mhm.
But still, as
It is
someone who has step siblings,
it is weird.
this is weird.
No,
See why it's an enjoyable movie for women. Don't get me wrong, I can obviously. And if my girlfriend was like, "Hey, let's watch Clueless," I wouldn't say no, but I would be like, "Really?" Like you know, like can we watch The Sandlot?
you're
Like
like,
you know,
can we
like
talk about the political and economic state of the world right now? Let's
but
watch Wolf of Wall Street instead.
But for the record, that is why I assigned you Wolf of Wall Street because you assigned me Clueless. I already knew what this movie was gonna do, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give her Wolf of Wall Street. Then I'm
Oh
gonna give
my
her
gosh.
just as much substance in the movie as she's giving me.
Her driving in the
Oh
movie
my god! I was like, is this where Arianna just got like?
is me.
It's
If anybody wants
over
to know,
already? Did I pass?
If anybody
The
wants
way
to
he
know
looked at her.
if anybody wants to know why I don't drive, it's this movie because I drive exactly like that, so please.
God damn, like she should I leave a note? He was like he was appalled. Like, for the love of God.
I just
Which
think it's so funny. Like this movie's hilarious. One of my favorite also parts is when Stacey Dash's character, when she goes and finds Murray, her boyfriend, getting his head shaved off,
oh
and
yeah.
she's like
Which I love
freaking
this
out.
couple during all this. They're
Oh yeah,
them
me
two are the
too.
best part of the movie.
Me too. I love them so much because like that is literally like when the scene where he's teaching her how to drive and they're on the that is me and Jose. No, that is literally me and Jose. And then or when they're trying to find directions to the party.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Even today's age where we don't have to rely on maps, like physical maps anymore, that is still me.
Look at the numbers at the top. They're not numbers, they're letters.
No, like Brittany Murphy, it's so crazy seeing her in this movie and then seeing her in Girl Interrupted. Like this woman's range is crazy. Seeing her in Sin City, even seeing her in Uptown Girls, it's like R.I.P. to the beautiful soul that we lost. Which is she's actually my top 5 favorite actresses. Like she is amazing. If you're keeping up with my list at all, period, which you're probably not, but like if you are and you're thinking to yourself, how dare she rate this movie higher than this one or lower than this one? This list is based off of would I watch this movie over this one?
Right.
It is not based off of what movie's better cinematography wise or acting wise, script wise,
Right.
plot wise.
Right.
It is simply based off of the fact I would watch this movie over this one
Right.
and this one, so on and so forth.
Right.
If we were ranking based off of like storyline wise and all that stuff, this list would be very different. But that being said, Clueless is 43.
Okay.
It's 43 out of 55. And when I'm looking at the ones below it, especially the one directly below it, I'm questioning it a little bit. But again, it's a fun movie. If I were to like see it and put it on, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to watch. I'll just watch it. You know, like
Right.
it's just one of those fun, light-hearted movies. That's the whole point of the segment.
That is for cinema for this week.
Mm-hmm.
Now on to our last segment of weekly
Hyperfixation.
hyperfixation.
Getting into weekly hyperfixation, for those who are not familiar, this segment is basically us talking about things that we have been hyperfixated on, whether that be songs, movies, shows that we've been watching recently.
Right.
Honestly, I want to start talking about things even on our timeline, like on our TikTok For You page of what we've been into. But this week is a little different because we have a shared hyperfixation,
Right.
and that is the Michael Jackson movie.
Right.
We recently watched it literally last night.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, fresh off a review, honestly, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Like it from start to finish, you just truly feel about what Michael himself was just going through throughout his beginning of his career, throughout the start of his career. Because obviously, for those who don't know, this movie doesn't follow up until his death. This movie follows up until just about after he's done, just about after him and his brothers do their last tour.
Mm-hmm.
That's just about when it ends. Um, and he does the bad tour.
Mm-hmm.
And is when it's literally right when it ends is when he's starting the bad tour. And so with that, it's just we see a lot of the beginning of his career, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
with which amazing cast as it, like even like taking out the fact that it's Michael Jackson. It's just this beautiful story about like this one man in a nay a generation, an entire century that was able to do this kind of a thing,
Mm-hmm.
like that had this gift, this God-given gift of pure talent,
No, yeah.
like pure talent.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like when you watch the movie, you especially, I mean, especially me, I was sitting there of like just experiencing it all and thinking to myself of like every step of his career was took with purpose. Every step that he took himself
Mm-hmm.
was took with purpose.
Right.
Like he wanted that from his very first solo album. He told the execs, he told the producers, I want this to be me,
Mm-hmm.
my sound.
Mm-hmm.
And I want the freedom to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Like, and he got it.
Yeah.
Like, and it blew up. Like,
Yeah. Oh
it
my gosh, I once they like put the Off the Wall cover, I something in my heart like jumped. It was just because again, like monumental because I've listened to that album front to back. It's actually one of my favorite albums of his in general is Off the Wall. And our grandparents like love that album too.
right,
Fun fact about us, our grandparents actually saw Michael Jackson live during his bad tour.
right,
And just seeing them, and we're going to talk about that more, experiencing watching the movie with them was just so
right.
special to us. But piggybacking off of your thoughts of the movie, I have to say I was nervous like going into this movie because biopics are very difficult in general. You have such a high criticism in general when you're going into biopics of certain celebrities, especially someone as that has the aura that Michael Jackson has
Had.
because had still has. I would like to
Yeah,
argue because
honestly,
listen, no one is touching his level of fame ever ever come close. All your favorite celebrities can go to a basketball game, sit courtside, and not get as I don't want to say as bothered, or because bothered is like a bad word, but like
just like
my
bombarded.
bombarded because Michael Jackson couldn't even enjoy those little things like your all your favorite celebrities can do. And there's he had so much impact that people around the world loved him so much that they were like people who didn't speak English wanted to learn English to understand what he's saying in his songs.
Like the only person that even came before that, like that was even close, was Elvis.
Right.
He became a worldwide sensation with rock and roll.
Mhm.
But then Michael Jackson came along, and
Yeah.
his
Mhm.
voice was unlike anything else.
Not just his voice, I think I've never seen because you have your Michael Jackson, I don't want to say impersonators, but people who are inspired by him a lot. I like to put Bruno Mars, for example. I've
Right,
seen Bruno Mars live.
right,
If I could compare at all the way he dances and performs, Bruno Mars has it
right,
for sure. And that's because Bruno Mars has idolized him. And but with that being said, I still have yet to see anybody come close to the way that he was able to move his body and feel. You can physically see he's feeling the music.
oh yeah,
And now, of course, the only other person who can do it is his nephew. But training day in, day out to do this and training his voice to sound exactly like his
right, like that. Because hearing
is,
him speak in the
oh,
movie, like
yeah.
as adult Michael, like I was
I
like,
have to be real. The way I remember Michael Jackson is how he looked during his bad era. Of course, he didn't pass until June 2009. I was 6 years old around
right,
that time. So I only ever known him as like what he looked like during his bad era. I don't remember at all what he looked like even during his thriller era or anything like that. Because again, I wasn't alive.
right,
But I was nervous about the makeup. I was very nervous. I was like, I don't I don't think he looks like him, like, period, like, but that's, of course, because I don't remember what he looked like when he was younger, even before the nose jobs and before all that stuff, but when he put on those shades, I, like, got chills. I was like, "That looks exactly like him." It's crazy what the makeup department can do, because even when you see Jafar Jackson, who is his nephew that played him in the movie, when he's doing interviews and doing all the press junkets, obviously, like, a completely different person, like, claps and applauds to the makeup department. They
yeah,
really nailed it. The wardrobe, the hair, like, oh my goodness, it is just Coleman Domingo
oh yeah, his performance was,
being Joe Jackson, transforming into Joe Jackson. Like, I know that's Coleman Domingo because I know that's Coleman
oh right,
Domingo.
yeah,
But if you didn't know who Coleman Domingo was, you would have thought Joe Jackson played himself.
yeah,
No, truthfully, like that, insane. And just so amazing. I don't think we give the wardrobe department and the makeup department as credit as we should at all. I think they did an amazing job. And the fact that Jafar Jackson had his choreographers, one of his brothers, like being the person to do this and execute it the way that it was, couldn't get any more correct than that. Because imagine someone like no shade, but Quentin Tarantino doing this. Do
Right.
you get what I mean? Like,
No,
and then
yeah.
I would understand like the anger and all that stuff, you know? But with all that being said, this movie was literally incredible. And I couldn't help but like jam in my seat. I was trying so
No,
hard to
yeah, like
contain myself. Like,
which is like that like the true testament to him again. Like, like
mhm.
you have people in the theater watching this movie about you and can't help but move their feet a little bit. Like, you know what I
Oh
mean?
my
Like
gosh, I was looking over at you and Roman because to paint a picture, it was me, Jose, our grand my not our Nanas and Willow. That's what we call our grandparents on our mom's side, and you and Roman, and we were all like watching it, and our grandparents being able to like get so excited and nostalgic. Like I was looking over, seeing like Nanas like move her feet a little bit. Willow like was getting up out of his chair a little bit, and they
right.
were oh my gosh, my grandparents were getting so excited to like
Like they were just like
they
reliving
were
that.
reliving it. Yes. Here's what pissed me off though. They told me that they spent $25 to see him. You know how much it costed to see the movie?
right?
Like the fact that it was significantly cheaper to go see him live in concert versus now going to see a movie about him. Insane. Granted, we're not in 1988 anymore, but like, are we for real? Truly, truly insane. But seeing Roman too, like getting all like excited too, because Roman's 11 years old. Like Roman obviously was born way after Michael Jackson. So, but again, that's why I said he still has aura because people still know and still tell their kids who Michael Jackson was.
right.
Does that make sense? Like, no one's having that impact. One of my favorite lines in the movie was when he was like coming up with ideas on what to do and getting like the urge to like execute them. And his brothers were like giving him shit about it. And he was like, I have to listen to God's ideas because if I don't, he's going to give them to Prince.
Oh yeah. that shit was
And that is so funny.
was like I was like trying not to laugh in my seat for a second. Cause like that was so funny to me.
Whoever like wrote that and if that actually was said, that is so funny. What is your favorite Michael Jackson song? True to your core, what is your
Remember the
favorite?
time.
Remember the time?
Remember the time is
I
my
love the
favorite.
music video to that.
Especially yeah, see that too. I think the reason Remember the Time is one of my favorites is because like it does that perfect like that his vocals in that it's a song that is perfect that has a perfect mix of his amazing vocal range
Mm-hmm.
and the beats and like harmonies in the song like
Yeah.
the way that that song was produced just just another Michael Jackson song that makes you just want to
The
groove a
first
little bit like
point 2 seconds of the like and like going oh my gosh
like
there's something what the hell is that what setting on the thing is that because
right like
it scratches my brain every time sometimes I like keep putting backs just so I can hear that first
like
point 2 seconds
oh
of
my!
it.
Like if I was a producer, I'd almost want to make a song off of that beat,
Hmm.
like just purely, like because that beat is so like
That would be an expensive sample, let me tell
I
you.
love Remember the Time though. Remember the Time is so good. Plus, it's just like a great love song, you know. Just,
Hmm.
I
Well,
remember the time. Oh
you didn't ask, but
my.
my favorite Michael Jackson song is actually on that same album, the same Dangerous album, In the Closet.
really?
Oh my god, I love that song. I don't know what it is, and it's annoying because people are now discovering that song. And listen, people are discovering it and pretending they've known about it. First of all, every time I was asked this question or we were talking about Michael Jackson, I was like, oh my God, my favorite song's In the Closet. And they were like, I've never heard of that song. And that's fine. It's a deep cut.
right.
I know ball. I've listened to his entire discography. So yes, it's a deep cut like of his discography. I know that song. I used to watch the music video and try to so hardly perfect the choreography. And it's one of my dreams to learn the choreography to that song because first of all, it is a very sensual song. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but as someone who loves R&B music, it does have that R&B
That's why I love
feel to it.
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago is amazing. But literally when
Came
I
out
tell
after he
you
died, but
In the Closet has 3 different, like, melody changes, and it's just so amazing, and people are pretending like they've known about it because every time I played it, people just didn't get it. They didn't understand. Like, the whole, like, she wants to give it all, like, are you joking? Shout out to my cousin Norma. She's actually the person that introduced me to that song, and she watches the podcast.
Mhm.
So I remember being 8 years old and hearing that song for the first time. Not even 8 years old. I think I was 8, 7 maybe. I was pretty young, and hearing that song for the first time, my life changed. I knew I loved R&B music from that moment because of just it is amazing. That
Mhm.
song is actually like probably one of my favorite songs ever because of how well produced it is. Honestly, it is an amazing, amazing song. Um, I also love Human Nature. I
Right,
love
yeah.
Human Nature. Human Nature is just so
Which we
beautiful
got that one in the
too.
movie too,
We
yeah.
did get that one in the movie, which I'm excited for the second one, and I'm glad they're gonna do the second one because I do you remember seeing and reading an article that they weren't going to put out the second one if the first one didn't do good? And the first one obviously did amazing.
Yeah, it's doing
It
amazingly.
is actively also doing amazing. People have seen it more than once. Like it's truly great.
It's so
So
good.
them doing the second movie, we're going to see the process of that, and I'm so excited. We're gonna get Remember the Time because that music video is amazing. All of his music videos too are literally short films.
But yeah, so he was like the person that like basically like popularized music videos.
Hmm.
Like making it like, yeah, you're like this is an art. Your music is supposed to tell a story.
And being one of, if not the first Black person to be on MTV, to have their music video to be played on MTV is crazy. In the 1980s is crazy.
And then have the top best-selling album of all
Of
time.
all still to this day.
Still, still, Thriller is the best-selling
Because people
album of
again,
all
that's why
time.
I say he has or as in present
I have it
tense.
on vinyl.
Like
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. I gifted it to Marcus for his birthday this year. And I just it is just oh my gosh.
And
Human nature is so
in
amazing.
some, if you haven't watched the Michael Jackson movie yet, go watch it. Because by the time we have released, it'll be out for what, a week and a half. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Like
2 weeks, almost a month.
it's it's so good. That being said, yeah, we don't have much else to talk about, and that is our episode.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of
Rated
Rated
R
R
for
for Relatives.
relatives.
We will see you next week.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
bye.
Bye.